Whenever you're ready, Jen, we will go ahead and call the meeting to order.
You're on, go ahead.
All right, we will call the meeting to order. Jen, would you take roll, please?
Commissioner Johnson.
Here.
Commissioner Waldner.
Here.
Commissioner Thill.
Here.
Commissioner Corbin.
Here.
Mayor Lindsay.
Here. You have before you the agenda for this evening.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Under appearances and acknowledgments, seeing none, is there anything anyone wants removed from the consent calendar? If not, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve the consent calendar.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Seeing no old business, under new business. Authorize the mayor to sign the listing contract of real estate relationships disclosure and agency agreement addendum, Chuck Sutton Auctioneer and Land Broker LLC, for the sale of the Wink property. And Jen, since you visited with him, do you want to address this?
I can. The documents you have in front of you are as received from Chuck Sutton LLC. Numerous signatures we need on these pages here. Attorney David Jenks has looked at these, is comfortable with all of this. A few details that we can probably share at this time, if you would so like. We're looking at a sale date of January 9th, 2018 at 10 a.m. on location, so at the Wink property, located at 117 Southeast 2nd Street. The legal description as authorized last week as per the resolution, Lot 1 and Lot 2 of the 2nd Street addition to the City of Madison, Lake County, South Dakota. For specific land uses and restrictions on the property, please contact the City Engineer's Office. Terms of the sale are cash, 10% down on the date of the sale, with the rest, that down payment is non-refundable, and the balance would be due then on February 23rd, 2018. These are the documents that will need to be signed: listing contract, real estate relationship disclosure, an agency agreement addendum to move forward with the Chuck Sutton Agency.
Hey, questions or comments?
Do we have the appraised value?
We do have an appraised value, and I think the
We'll have that.
average came in at right at 100,000.
100,000 is what
Okay.
went on that appraised sheet. Thank you.
Well, I'm wondering, do we look at recouping any of the costs? I mean, how do we make that determination of all that we're going to have, you know?
Well, you have it. You have the estimated value at 100,000. You by law can't accept any more, less than 90% of the appraised value. So the auction will be open. It'll be open to the public, and anyone that's out there is welcome to bid.
City reserves the right to accept the highest bid or reject
Or
all
reject
bids.
all offers. Okay?
Part of the documentation.
And Chuck does a lot of business with the Sioux Falls, City of Sioux Falls, and school districts, and so for him, and that this is standard procedures. And, but it's an opportunity for us to put it back out there on the open market and get the top dollar and have it belong to someone else, hopefully, and put it back on the tax rolls.
With it being a public auction like that, and they have to put down 10% that day. So then and that was non-refundable, but if it comes back to the commission and then we reject all bids, or what's that process? Are we having a commission meeting then to determine as a commission whether we want to accept the bids or not, or who?
Thank you, Mike. I
Who
think
makes
that's a little
that
more of an
authority?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, my guess would be, and that if it goes for 90% or higher of the appraised value, it is sold. And then the commission just acts on it and moves forward from there. So that would be a bid of $90,000, and that it is sold property.
But when would the commission act on it?
When would the commission act on it? Probably at the next
meeting.
At the next meeting. Yeah, probably at the next meeting, and then closing date of February 23rd, 2018.
Okay, that would be my question then. And so then at that next meeting, then we could determine whether we accept or reject all bids.
About the only
And
time that you would
but-
reject one is if it came in under 90%.
Yeah, well, we wouldn't need to reject it because it would automatically get rejected. But what I'm saying is I just want to make sure that, somebody puts their 10% down and then we all of a sudden, for whatever reason, decide now.
In that case there, you would abrogate the offer, they would get their 10%
We
back.
would get that back, okay.
They would get that 10%
Good.
back.
Yep.
I personally don't know how to answer that. I
Yes.
would defer that to David, who unfortunately
Okay.
isn't here tonight, but
I would
we have some
assume so.
Yeah,
time.
you,
Tonight,
if
what we
you,
need to do is.
if you
is-
reject all bids, then they get their 10% back.
Got it. Just making sure.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we authorize the mayor to sign listing contract, real estate relationships disclosure, and agency agreement addendum with Chuck Sutton Auctioneer and Land Broker LLC for the sale of the Wink property.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 And Jen, note that I abstain because Chuck Sutton is related to my wife.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, number 2, resolution number 2017-19, necessity for sidewalk repair improvement, 2018. I'm going to ask Chad to discuss this one.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor and Commission. This is the resolution for the inspections. This is a resolution to make the inspections that haven't been made. Let me start over.
Easy for
We
you to say.
inspected the sidewalk this spring, and a certain number of landowners needed sidewalk repairs. Some have accomplished those, most have not. This resolution makes binding, if you will, the requirement to make those repairs from the inspections that were accomplished this spring. There's about 64 properties affected. Some properties have 1 or 2 locations on those, to repair on any particular property. We accomplished the inspection of the south central part of town this year. This is our second time through this area. If you will, we split the town up into 6 sections, and this is the second of those 6 that has been the second time around. So it's been a process that we've been doing for about 8 years now, so I think you all are relatively familiar with that. So I would recommend approving this resolution, and then we'll go ahead and let the landowners know of the requirements subsequently.
Very good. Questions or comments?
I would like to see us start on these sidewalks. Let's get the whole town finished once before we start over and redoing them again. Let's finish the whole town once through. You see what I'm saying? So we don't go back and around and double dip and stuff, Pretty soon you got sidewalks here. Next block don't have sidewalk. We got that project right up here on 4th Street. We got some that don't have sidewalk and some do, Let's finish the whole town once and then we can start all over. Are we inspecting them as a part of insurance? Isn't there a reason we're doing this?
A couple things. We are doing it because of some liability issues that have been brought to our attention from the insurance pool, and so that's why I would say a part of the reason why this was reinstituted about 8 years ago, to identify those hazard areas and the risks and for the public and such like that. As far as I'm not sure if I'm following exactly, Mr. Fiddle, what you're mentioning. This is the repair part, not the new sidewalk part. As you're aware, the new sidewalks sidewalk committee, and then the commission takes that up every year, and they recommend areas to put those sidewalks in. This is I'll call it a separate process where we're just inspecting the sidewalks that happen to be already installed in that year. So every year, as we install more sidewalks, there's more to inspect in each particular area, depending on what's been chosen. So this is just a resumption of that process, I guess.
And then
I'm
this
not
here, the town is divided into 6 sections on the repair of sidewalks that are already there.
Yes.
And so it's a total separate from the 45,000 a year that we put into, new sidewalk construction. So there's 2 separate processes that go on each year. And this is on the repair side. And,
Okay.
and if you remember, you showed me an area there that you felt, well, that falls under their category, under this category. The sidewalk is in there, but it's in terrible shape.
Is that Mike?
Yes.
And I think clarification on that is probably important, so I appreciate the question, Bob. So if we divide it into 6 quadrants, or 6 quadrants, it wouldn't be quadrants, and would it, 6 sections.
Correct.
See, got that. That's still always there. But are you saying that, then, quadrant number 1, or section number 1, excuse me, which one requires the most attention, kind of gets to the top next?
No, it's sections of town.
I understand
We
that.
do
I understand, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
1/6 of the town is done each year.
But are there certain sections in each section of the town that may be in disrepair and then you require, is it,
I wouldn't say necessarily, some
I don't want
parts.
to say the worst ones are the ones that
Yeah.
require most attention, either due to insurance concerns or safety concerns, that the decisions made on that basis.
Quite honestly, we divided up to 6 approximate equal sections, started up in the top right, the northwest, and did that section first. With some input from the commission, about 7 years ago, we went to the south central, which includes the Main Street. There was some recommendations to try to do that area since it's a heavier pedestrian area. So we jumped from the northwest section to the south central section about 7 years ago, and then we resumed in that top left, from right to left, from left to right process till we went through the 6 portions the first time, and now we're just resuming the same pattern. Northwest, and now this is south central, and then we'll jump back to north central and then continue that process.
So we aren't
So
going,
there's no
we aren't
re-
going one sidewalk from each section every year, we're just giving attention to one section every year.
One geographical area. We're just going to one geographical area, and then we're not coming back to that particular geographical area until we've went through the entire town. So we're not hitting people more frequently than any other people, so to speak.
Not picking on the northwest or the south central.
Correct, yeah.
Does that make sense, Bob, to you?
Yeah. Well, I would just-
If it makes sense to Bob and I, then we must be getting somewhere.
Well, in any time, I always, if you have any questions, any of you, come up and I'll be happy to try to explain it, or the public as well. Often people do take me up on that, and I would welcome that greatly.
Very good.
Thank you.
Other questions? If not, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion, we approve resolution number 2017-19, necessity for sidewalk repair improvement 2018.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
And I would like to thank Commissioner Corbin for being on that committee.
Oh, thank you.
It's not easy.
Number 3, authorize the purchase of the Groundmaster 4100 from the state contract 16566. And Mike, would you like to step up and address that, please?
We decorated just for you.
Did you?
Christmas there.
Looks
on the-
good. Thanks. So Jen and
There's a
I,
little trim work there, we'll call a couple parts in on that.
Yeah, don't critique it too much though for us.
I'll get you in the paper. So Jen and I and Chad have been working on this. I think we've all learned a lot about state bids and contracts and all the good stuff that goes along with it. So we're asking to buy this Toro mower under state contract 16566, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jen, it's total $63,125.
Correct.
And if we order it before December 15th, 2017, they'll give us 2017 pricing if we order it after, it'd be payable in January or February, the money, and we budgeted that amount of money for it in the budget process. So, but if 2018 pricing comes in to effect if we don't order it before the 15th. So it'll be about, I think it's right at about $1,000 more if we order it after the 1st instead of right now, so.
As
Jen,
part
do
of
you
your,
want to add anything to that?
if I can, just very
Yes,
quickly,
please.
as part of your packet, then you have the master agreement that shows the Toro Company, the agreement with the Toro Company and the state of South Dakota with the bid contract number that Mike mentioned, 16566. And then you also have the Toro pricing as received from the Toro rep, which exactly matches, and it took some doing, didn't it, Mike? It exactly matches finally what we received from Midwest Turf and Irrigation. Total purchase price of the unit plus the two options that Mike wanted for $63,125. Mike budgeted $63,126, so he gave himself a little wiggle room there.
Very good.
We should be good to go.
That's a very little wiggle.
Can you tell us why this is, this particular?
Sure. This mower
Is
covers,
it for us?
first of all, it's all-wheel drive. The park department mows a lot of low land, which two-wheel drive mowers are stuck, so constantly somebody's going to have to go pull it out. It covers a 12-foot swath, but we can do trimming with it because the decks will fold up. We have one currently right now. We have air ride seat and stuff. You got to take in consideration the guy that's riding it, that his back and everything else. It don't beat him to death. So it covers 12 foot. It's for all-wheel drive. The prices are not going to get any cheaper because the Tier 4 diesel emission control. They expect a 6 to 10% increase every year from here forward from every mower. The one we currently have has just about 3,000 hours on it, and it's a 2012 machine. And I talked to several of the reps from different places, and they said if you have 3,000 hours on a machine in that amount of time, you probably need to be running another machine. So we could go with 2 or 3 smaller mowers that are covering 60 inches, but then I have to have 3 more seasonals hired, get them here, and have more workers, and they're not going to be all-wheel drive. They're going to be stuck, so we're constantly pulling them out. This one, we have one identical to it, so we'd have the same parts. They got great service. That's why we decided to go with Toro. So
And then is that a Yanmar diesel?
it does have a Yanmar diesel in it. No, it's a Kubota diesel. I'm sorry,
Kubota.
excuse me.
What's your, cut, how long is this?
12 foot wide. With all the decks down, it'll cut 12 foot wide, and you can mow up to 11 mile an hour with it if the ground's smooth enough. So
Do we use this at the airport?
currently not, but there has been some talk about
I'm asking
it.
you to, just wondering.
No.
And out at the water treatment plant?
They have their own mower at the water treatment plant. We mow the flood buyout lots, the rec trail from the start of Madison to the edge of it to Johnson's Point, and then down to the wetlands, and then some of the state highway road ditch out there where it's right along the shoulder where the state's ordered us to mow it along the rec trail. We only mow like 4 to 6 foot probably. We used to mow 18 inches, but now we're going wider because then the weeds we're trying to keep the grass overgrown off that. But Blockman Park alone takes 1 day with 2 mowers going to mow just Blockman Park. And well, it takes over that. It takes probably almost a day and a half if conditions are favorable.
And will you keep the other mower, or will you?
We would keep the other mower for mowing the depot and some of the smaller areas. The smaller one. We do have 2 that we will surplus. It'll replace 2 other mowers that we currently have that we don't use, that we have had in storage for backups because they're wore out, and we use them when one of them breaks down basically. So we will surplus 2 mowers for this machine. A 60-inch deck and then a 17-foot deck. Jacobson will both be surplused at the next surplus sale, which will leave some storage space too.
total separate note from that, the rec trail at Highway 19, somebody broke off that stop sign.
Car accident, I'm sure.
I just noticed it was laying on the ground.
Are you happy with the service agreement with this? If we have trouble, how long will it take to come and repair this?
That's a great question. That's one of the reasons why I like Toro so much. Toro, we had the little one we have, the 3280. The injection pump went bad on it. They were here the same day that I called them from Omaha, and 2 days later it was back fixed with no cost. They came, picked it up, and commercial grade mowers, we have had other ones that we've had some issues with in the past. Getting parts, getting them fixed. Toro, if I call them, the parts are sitting there the next day and they don't charge us any shipping.
Do they exclusively do all the service for you on this? Do you just Tom do anything for you?
I do the service work on them, and if there's something major, Tom will help us with it, but they don't do any service work with it. The park department does.
Regular maintenance stuff.
Regular maintenance stuff, but like if an injection pump or something went down, or a drive motor or tandem or something, they're hydrostatic driven. They have been really good, and we've had zero issues with the 4100D we currently have, other than normal wear and tear like bushings and mower decks and stuff, blades, belts, stuff that's gonna break and wear out. That's
I know we looked at this significantly over a significant period of time, and we always wanted to look at other options, but this seemed to be without a doubt the best purchase for what we need. This is a point at which we oftentimes get commissions, this commission anyway, have been criticized for all the property we own. Well, we care for that property, and it takes a significant amount of time to care for it, and this is extremely helpful with that. It isn't just the parks and those kind of things, but all the Woodwater guy property and those kind of things, the greenway that we're trying to achieve. So I'll make a motion to authorize purchase of the Groundmaster 4100 from state contract number 16566.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Number 4, authorize the use of the
Thank you.
fire building maintenance reserve, fire station training room, kitchen remodel. And I'm going to ask Randy if he'd like to address this.
Yes, thank you. Over the past month, I've been working with Chad and a local contractor on a 2018 project that we got budgeted, and that's the flooring and kitchen remodel at the fire station. And anyway, with visiting with the contractor, we had mentioned the possibility of maybe purchasing some product, some of the material, and for a cost savings. And anyway, the contractor agreed, and we were looking into purchasing both the flooring and the cabinets for a total of right under $13,000. If we were to purchase those, or if we were able to purchase those in 2017, we'd have a cost savings of roughly almost $6,000, I believe. So I'm here asking for $9,000 out of our building maintenance reserve, and I currently have 4 in my building maintenance fund left in 2017 for a total of $13,000.
You're looking for the 4 we currently have, 17, and then
Correct, buy the flooring, the material, the tile, and the cabinets, and then have them installed in 2018.
when was the last time you had an upgrade?
It was built in '86.
Since then.
Yes, correct. 86 or 87, Bob?
86.
86.
The conversation, if I may, that Randy and I had earlier today is that he may still have some wiggle room in his 2017 2017 budget. We've got a good 6 weeks or so to see if some other expenses come through. So what we would request from you this evening is up to that $9,000 to be part of your motion. And if we use that, we use that. But if we're able to absorb that cost in this 2017 budget, we won't use that building reserve dollars.
And then that'll be used in 2018 with
Correct.
2018.
Correct. We'll need it
And
to
this is
complete the
money
project in
that's-
2018.
This is money that's already budgeted for 2018, and
That's
and
correct.
David has weighed in on, buying it in 2017 versus 18, and it's fine and legal, so.
You plan on keeping it in the 1986 design style?
No. Look forward to updating it, yes. Yep.
I guess that'll work too. I'll make a motion to authorize the use of the fire building maintenance reserve, fire station training room / kitchen remodel in the amount of
Up to
$9,000.
$9,000. Second.
Hey, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay,
That
seeing,
takes care of
thank
the,
you.
Donations over the years from retired firemen too.
Exactly. I'm thinking we got roughly $3,500 in memorial money from, past firefighters, funerals and stuff, and that's going to help purchase our appliances in the fire station. So refrigerator, stove, microwave, things like that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good.
Thanks, Randy.
Seeing no announcements in that, do we have a motion to go into executive session?
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carries. We are in executive session.